I noticed it the moment his hand slipped into my backpack. Parents develop a strange sixth sense over time. You don't always know what is wrong, but your body reacts before your mind catches up. A pause that lasts a second too long. A laugh that comes half a beat late. A touch that doesn't belong. We were standing in the kitchen, late afternoon light slanting across the counter. I was packing my bag for an overnight work trip, charger, notebook, spare shirt. My son, Aaron, leaned against the doorway pretending to scroll on his phone, all casual shoulders and forced boredom. "Need a ride tomorrow morning?" he asked. "No," I said, "train's easier." He nodded, then, as if remembering something, he stepped closer. "Oh, your water bottle fell out earlier. I put it back." That was when I felt it. A faint tug, the zipper opening just enough, his fingers dipping inside my bag for a split second longer than necessary. Too long. I didn't look at him. I kept folding my shirt, smoothing wrinkles that didn't matter. "Thanks," I said evenly. He zipped the backpack closed and stepped away. His smile was easy, too easy. If he thought I missed it, he was wrong. That night after Aaron went out to meet friends, I sat on the edge of my bed with the backpack open in front of me. I didn't rummage. I didn't panic. I simply checked the one pocket I never use, the narrow inside sleeve meant for documents. Tucked behind my notebook was a small, unfamiliar object wrapped in tissue paper. A key. Not just any key. Black plastic head, silver teeth worn down from use, and taped to it, folded small, was a scrap of paper with a handwritten address. My stomach dropped. The address wasn't random. I recognized it immediately. It was a side street near the industrial park on the edge of town. Warehouses, storage units, the kind of place you don't go unless you're trying not to be seen. I sat there for a long time, the key heavy in my palm. Aaron was 19, old enough to make his own choices, old enough to hide things, old enough to lie. But he wasn't careless, and he wasn't cruel. So why plant this in my bag? The answer arrived quietly, like an unwelcome guest who doesn't knock. He wanted me to find it, but not yet. He wanted it discovered later, somewhere inconvenient, on the train, at work, maybe during a security check. Or worse, he wanted it traced back to me. I didn't sleep that night. By morning, I'd made a decision. I wasn't going to confront him, not yet, and I wasn't taking that key with me. Instead, I waited. Aaron came home around midnight. I heard his car pull into the driveway, the engine idling longer than usual. When I peeked through the blinds, I saw him sitting there, hands on the wheel, staring straight ahead. Not relaxed, not distracted. Nervous. The next morning, he offered to drive me to the station after all. "I thought you said," I began. "I don't mind," he interrupted too quickly. "I'm heading that way anyway." We rode in silence. The radio was on, but neither of us listened. When we reached the station, he pulled up to the curb and leaned across to hug me. That's when I did it. While he squeezed too tight, I slipped the key from my pocket and let it fall, quietly, into the open compartment of his car door. It landed with a soft, unmistakable tap. He froze. Just for a second. Then he pulled back, smiling again. "Have a good trip," he said. "You too," I replied. I didn't look back as I walked into the station. But I felt his eyes on me the entire time. I skipped the trip. Instead, I took a cab straight to the address on the paper. The storage facility sat behind a chain-link fence, sun-bleached sign barely legible. I waited across the street, pretending to scroll through emails, heart pounding like I was doing something illegal even though I was. An hour passed. Then Aaron's car turned the corner. He parked, got out, and stood still for a moment, just like he had the night before in the driveway. Then he checked the car door pocket. His shoulders sagged. He looked around, confused, panicked. then relieved. He pulled the key out, glanced toward the street, and walked into the facility. I followed at a distance. He unlocked Unit 317. Inside was a motorcycle. Old, expensive, modified, and unmistakably not his. I knew whose it was the moment I saw the custom paint job. Marcus, Aaron's father, my ex-husband, the man who vanished 3 years ago after being investigated for fraud, leaving behind debt, unanswered questions, and a teenage son who never got closure. The police never found him, but apparently Aaron had. I stepped forward. Aaron. He spun around so fast he nearly dropped the key. His face drained of color. Mom. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Dust floated in the sunlight cutting through the unit door. The motorcycle ticked as it cooled. Finally, he said quietly, "You weren't supposed to see this yet." "Then why put the key in my bag?" I asked. He swallowed, because I didn't know what else to do. The story came out in pieces. Marcus had contacted Aaron months ago, claimed he was trying to make things right, said he needed help moving some things, staying off the radar until it all blew over, promised money, promised answers. Aaron had been meeting him here, bringing supplies, pretending it was nothing, but then Marcus stopped showing up. No calls, no messages. Just silence. And I got scared, Aaron admitted, voice cracking. If something happened to him, I didn't want it to be on me. I thought, if you had the key, somehow it wouldn't be just mine anymore. I closed my eyes. You tried to pass the responsibility to me, I said gently. He nodded. I didn't want to drag you into it, but I didn't know how to get out. I reached out and took his hands, dusty and shaking. You don't hide things like this from me, I said. Not ever. I know, he whispered. We called the police together. The motorcycle turned out to be stolen. Marcus was later found alive, hiding out of state, his schemes unraveling exactly the way they always had. Aaron didn't get into trouble, but he learned something more important. And so did I. Children don't always hide things because they're guilty. Sometimes they hide them because they're scared, and they're hopping in the quietest way possible that their parent will notice anyway.